Hey guys, we are back. Both Sides of the Line, episode 23, which I've got right this time. Thank you very much for that. Good job, Dazza. Azza, how are you, mate? What's going on? I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but I'm sure we'll find something. But anyway, what's going on?
We've got a couple of things to talk about. First thing is that chair you're sitting in. It's thrown. Describe that to me.
It's just a message to let you know that I am the king of this house. I'm the Grand Poobah, and I am high almighty, and you are just the pawn in my little empire of empires, mate. So
you're a terrible
welcome
bloke.
to my empire. That's what it is. It's a sign, mate. I'm the king.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you. It feels great to be here now.
I'll buy you a chair, mate.
I'm
Let's
going.
go help you. I'll buy you a chair. It's all good.
No, I don't want a chair. I'm happy with this one. I like this one. It's nice and.
Tell you what, though, I feel actually very comfortable. Normally I slouch, and it's making me sit
you
upright.
are sitting up very straight.
Yeah, it feels good. So
yeah, you might have to adjust your mic and whatnot, mate.
I look taller. It's good. I'm happy. So what's going on, mate? How you been? What's going on? And what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Is 23 the most famous number in sport?
Well, it is now that we've
across sport.
Well, it is now. It's our episode 23. We've made it famous because both sides of the line have chosen to use 23 today. But, well, Michael Jordan, what other numbers are you putting it to?
All right. So Michael Jordan.
Are you going to say LeBron?
LeBron.
Who else? Is that it? It's a big list, mate. I think you're going to give me all these numbers that go to all these different sports. And so you're going to name two players in the same sport. Right. Hey.
I don't know. Who else wear numbers 20? I don't know.
I thought you were going to give me a whole list.
Maybe. I was just wasn't thinking about that when I asked that question.
I gave you 10 minutes of freedom to roll off the names.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Well, I presume it's not so famous then. No, it's famous. Very big number. Very big. It's very famous.
I don't know. If you're in the numerology and whatnot, someone might be able to shed some light on some different stuff for us.
Audience, we apologise for our lost start. I thought we were going somewhere, and it hit an absolute dead end.
Just got
brick wall.
Bang. We? I'm going good, mate. It's been a couple of weeks, 2 weeks since we've been back in the studio.
Really?
Now. Yeah.
Why didn't we do last week? Oh, what did we do last week?
I think we both had commitments last week. I couldn't get in last week. It was just too big a week for me on the work front. But all good, going on okay. We're 2 weeks out from round one VJBL, really, aren't we? That's come around super fast.
So I'm a bit lost how it all works because they're taking out the crossover.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm not.
There's no crossover.
Well, normally there's the growing phase 2 finishes tonight. Then you got a couple of crossovers for all the teams fighting Met 1, Met 2, Met 3. So VC will start 1 week before, I think.
Yeah, that's what you're waiting.
So the normal first crossover, I think, has been taken out.
So there's only one.
Well, yeah, but normally there's a couple because the teams are still fighting to the very end. So I'm not sure what happens now.
Oh, maybe there is just one.
So you guys will start 1 week ahead normally.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure how the rest of the schedule is going to work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Bit confused, but maybe I haven't investigated enough to be fair. Maybe I didn't read the finer details in the generic email that went out to all.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I just skimmed it. Thought, what's going on?
Whatever. I'll just keep winning.
Well, we're not winning, to be fair. We're losing when we should be winning. But
yeah. So what's been the little speed humps along the way for your girls? You said
foul shots and passing. So we lost by 3 one game. Foul shots and passing. Decision making. There's more things on top of that we could fix.
Yeah.
But they're two that if you miss 12 foul shots in one game, lose by 3.
Yeah,
the whole the way you're chasing the whole game, and then last week was the same, lost by 8. It was the foul line again, the decision making, but we're in the games. We've got a chance to win every time. And the boards, defensive boards, as they're not pulling them down and protecting it to look for the passing lanes.
Yep.
And the players aren't trying to get into a passing lane for the rebounder to get the outlet out. Does that make sense? So they're not reading that very well.
Yeah.
So what happens is when we pull the ball, we're not protecting it, and they're just bullying us on their offensive boards.
Yeah.
So we did a bit of that last night. Worked on that. Had a bit of fun amplifying how it looked. I showed how I thought it looked. Bit of giggles, but it was also a good learning point last night about girls. That's where we're at. So it's up to them tonight what they want to do, how they want to go about it. But I'm not putting expectations on them, mate. I said to them, we'll be where we will be.
Yep.
Development for next year for the 6 bottom age, the 2 top age. Hopefully we'll get you ready to be part of the pathway on going forward. So
yeah,
I'm still happy, mate. I'm happy.
Passing is the lost skill in the modern game. Now, passing, I'll go a step further to say, if you are not connected with your teammates, your passing becomes very ordinary very quickly. Is that a fair assumption there? Because it's all like the non-verbal communication a lot of the time, isn't it? It's that eye contact, it's being connected, it's understanding where people are going to be, where they should be, how they should be moving.
Well,
Does that sound right?
Yeah, you're right. Because I got to see how you're moving. Are you going on the angle? Are you going straight? Am I putting it to where you're going, where you were? Because where you were might mean the defense is coming, you get a catch, and then you go. It might be on the run. It's a timing of what's going on within the game.
Yeah.
So we always teach where the player is going to go. We agree, but that's not always the case because if there's a defender coming at him, we might pass where they are.
Yeah.
They get a stop.
Yeah. Then
attack. So there's different ways of doing it. I see now that the bounce pass is gone. I'm blown away by that. There's a lot of times where I see a lot of balls go through the hands of the defense. So we defend this, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So the hands are up, we go down.
Straight. Yeah, I know.
We're just doing normal passing.
Yeah, we're passing like the defender's not even there. It's just straight in the hands.
And then
I'm seeing.
Yeah. And another one I see a lot of is the receiver not working for the ball.
Yeah.
And then this is what I think we discussed a while about stats turnovers. The passer does a bad pass theoretically, but the receiver doesn't go to the ball, and also had a half-hearted effort. The person passing still gets the turnover.
Yeah.
But the person was lazy getting the ball, they should get the turnover. But that's easy said.
You can argue both ways all day on that.
So more I say is make a bad pass look good. Work hard for the ball, no matter what. Make your teammate look better than what just happened. But a lot of players will say, that was a bad pass. I'm not going to work extra for it. I'll get frustrated with that.
Yeah, I see.
You got to work for your teammate. Where's good pass, bad pass, work for your teammate at the other end.
Yeah.
Because it's a 50-50 concept.
Is that probably a key indicator for coaches? Look, I'll probably talk from my system. So our offense is predicated on being able to pass the ball. A key indicator for me is if we are out of rhythm, out of touch, not connected, those three things tell me, well, those three things come to my mind when we're not passing the ball great.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's so obvious. It's so obvious. And I think...
Is that confidence?
Yeah, confidence plays a part, but I also think given where we've come from again over the last 12 months, not to harp on it, but it's the hardest fundamental skill to bring along. Does that make sense?
All right. Maybe I'm just going to go off track here, but I talked about this last night to my girls.
Yep.
How you trace, how you play. I think it's a crock of shit. But anyway.
I'll
explain why. You run a set. You got your teammate. Your teammates are running the defensive concept. You know what's going to happen. So it looks great. But that's not how you're going to play because you might get out coach. They might make rotations. They might make changes in the system. So we can't really train to that game situation. So just because it trained well, because the offense went well, the defense not going on. You cheat it. I think sometimes you got to understand how we over train and really hold these key points, but we can't dictate or presume what might happen Friday night.
No, of course not.
So maybe I'll get lost here on this one.
So
we presume it all went well. So we go into Friday night thinking because that train was so good, that's going to happen in the game. Well, no. The other team might bring something totally different. They might have a little bit more hardball guess. They might actually cheat better than what we did at training. They might be able to do a rotation because we didn't think about it. So what I mean by that is just because it trained well in that format, we don't know what we're up against Friday night. I think some kids walk in saying, because we train well, we're going to play well.
It's just going to happen.
That's what I mean by that.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, you try and simulate as best you can what you think.
You're restricted on what you can do, of course.
Yeah.
But I see kids who defend knowing what's going on because we work on the offense. We need defenders. We're using your team as defenders. So you know what's going to happen on the on ball. You know what's going to happen if you're going to get under or over. You know what's going to happen on where the shot's going to come from. Do we want the play? You get my point? We know that we're going to try and get the weak side entry. So our defenders are starting to cheat because they know it's coming. So we don't know what's working, what's not.
Yeah.
So, and even though we make the change in the training, but that's to our own team. It's not to the opposition involved. I don't know if that made sense. Sorry, guys. I probably made that confusing, but I'm very analytical that just be careful that what you implement that night, it's you're going against something that's unknown game night. There's only got preparation and some concepts to work by, but I'm very strong on just because it trained well, it doesn't mean you're going to play well as a team or individual. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's a step in the right direction.
It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing.
You train pretty crap, you're going to play shies. And
some people don't try out well, yet play well. Some people, I've got kids that can train well, can't play well. I got kids that can train sort of just go for it, play amazing. There's so many different ways kids do, mate. I get blown away. I'm not saying it's right.
You're saying that people can train poorly,
no,
play well.
No, there are kids that don't train well but play amazing. I got kids who train amazing but can't play well. They're just not game players.
I don't understand how you cannot train well.
No, when you say well, when you
How
say
can you
well,
be consistent then?
when you say
You may
well,
have one flash in the pan where you go, whoa. But consistency, I would argue, you wouldn't see that.
No, I've got to clarify. My point isn't
I'm gonna
about
challenge you on
ongoing
this.
and every week. I'm not saying that you're allowed to train shit and then play well.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
know
my
what you're
point.
saying.
My
Yeah.
point is there are kids that don't always train the best, but can play a consistent game. Now, whatever the reason they're not playing their best, train their best, whatever, there's other reasons why. But I've got kids who train amazing. And I mean train amazing. But when it comes game situation, bipolar.
That's mental.
Bipolar.
That's just mental. That's the mental game, that.
Yeah, or personally, they're just good. They're just good with skills. They're just not very good quarterback readers of the game, and that's something that's another development platform that we forget about.
Yeah, the field.
Teach a kid. So, how many players in this situation now actually understand the game? They train, they work hard, they do all the things we ask them to do.
Yeah.
But just because you work hard doesn't mean you're going to play well, and just because you train poor doesn't mean you're going to play poor. Is probably my message. That's a bit more simpler. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't think you can consistently train poor and play well.
No, that's not my point. I was just saying that.
Yeah.
Be careful on a week by week process. Just remember, whatever happened in that training session,
yeah,
maybe the opposite Friday night.
Yeah.
As an individual or as a team.
Yeah, I get that. Look, the challenge I throw down to my boys is, we want to be as consistently tough and competitive in training with each other as we can, because that's going to help us best prepare every week in, week out, for themselves as individuals and as the group.
What I find is with my group, this one I have, they're being too nice to each other because they feel that they don't want to be superior to each other. And that's become my problem, is we cannot go body in a real situation because they all want to be, they're too scared to.
Would hurt each other.
Or they're just too nice to each other.
That's an interesting problem to have.
It's great. I've got a great group of girls that amazingly get
tell
along.
us you about their mindset. Like, they're a great group of girls, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I pulled a couple of sides. Said, do me a favor.
Hurt them.
If you don't take it to the next level, you're not helping them.
Well, that's the thing. That's the challenge I've thrown out to my guys, because I view us as we've got talent. We've got talent. We've got potential, but we've got to put in the hard yards amongst each other.
Well, that's one thing I think I've always had fun with my youth league boys, and I'm not saying girls and boys are different because I've seen girls go hard.
I think the girls go harder on a more consistent basis.
Yeah, but when you want to go over the edge at training, when I say over the edge, I mean physicality. The thing about my youth league boys, always we're prepared to go body, and we do drills that are outside the norm. It's saying you prepare to stop that body from going from A to B and blah blah blah, and the physicality of that is far and beyond normality.
Yeah.
But then we break it down. We can understand what we get out of it. But they will push themselves and each other, and they're absolutely knackered by the time that drill's finished.
They won't do it unless they're bought in, though.
That's
the key. That's the underlying key to it all, isn't it?
Spot on. So you get the buy-in, but like I said, my girls, I know they've got the buy-in. I know they love it. That's a great. And the parents saying this is just such a great group and enjoy.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to explain to all them, it's great. I love it, but this is just holding them back from being what they should be. Also, what they could be. I shouldn't even say should. What they could be.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I said to them last night, I don't want my expectations to be here and yours are here. For now, I'm going to coach your expectations, but then I'm going to start raising the bar. I go 4 to 6 week concepts. But I can't have expectations here and the expectations are there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I guess, so from where we are right now, because we've essentially qualified for our season.
Which is congratulations, by the way, again.
Thank you. But all what we've been about this past 4 weeks, in 4 weeks in particular, is raising that bar. Because
what do you classify as raising the bar?
Because I think what can happen is when you're in your grading phase, you're going to play teams that aren't going to end up being in your division, for example. So VC for us. So you probably play more teams. Yeah, you probably play more teams that aren't going to be your opponents through the year. Does that make sense?
You're saying
you maybe get 1 out of 4 that might be. You know what I mean?
So you're playing at that level.
Yeah. So we're about at the moment, or I'm about pushing my group to really, I don't know, to really push each other in practice And then these practice games, we're going hard as we can. And it's about setting the standard for us going forward right now.
Me's been very analytical and specific now. We always say raise the bar. We always say push each other harder. I'm not being smart. Just for the, what do you mean by that? Are we saying physically? Are we going work rate? Are we saying to layups, the shots?
No, we're talking about the understanding of the why of what we do and how we're going to go about playing this year. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Understanding the why of why we do this, why we make this movement, why we defensively set up like this, those sorts of things, because that's going to be the foundation for our season right now. Because I think when you go through grading, you're playing for the result. And this year, probably more than any, you haven't had the lead up or build up where you can train consistently and work yourself into your grading games. You just have to, I think, this year more than any other, go out, play as hard as you can with the talent you've got and see where you end up in the wash.
Sure.
So now we're about really refining and laying the foundation of what we're going to be about. Pardon me.
Because the reason why I asked,
sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the reason I asked that, it's not that I'm questioning what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's got this. Sometimes we use a word or a thing that just covers too much things.
Yep.
And I think, well, that's an easy way of saying that I'm going to make my team go. What do you mean by that?
No. So when I say for me, raise the bar, it's the understanding the why and refining what we do to the point where we're able to execute it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
More often or consistently than not. Does that make sense?
Yep. So for me, what I look at now is I'm making so I'm always one of those guys that takes a couple of weeks to get a familiarity with what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'll let them, I shouldn't say the word suffer. We'll use the word suffer. I know what they're doing a little bit wrong, but once I make that change at the right time, they feel the change. Instead of me trying to be in their ear every day, every second, it's just going to be the same message.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll wait to that moment.
Yeah.
And the moments have started to come.
Yep.
What I'm getting is we're missing a lot of foul shots, right? So at the end of the day, what they're not doing outside, I can't control. I can say, guys, working your foul shots.
Well, you can't sit in the gym in your 2-hour session, I'm guessing, and do an hour worth of free throws.
I'd love to, but it's just not reality, right?
That's not reality, no.
And then part two of that is my raising the bar is going to be, girls, you need to shoot with purpose and intent. You know, if we're going to get you open off the on ball or to an open shot, whatever, you got to take the shot. There's no point you take the shot if you're not working on becoming better within the shot.
Mm.
There's no point getting a dribble drive action if you're being lazy or half-hearted in your labs in the warm-up or at training. So my raising the bar is going to be on the skills part that will help implement what we try and run. So we could say we run more offense or whatever. No, the offense is not the issue right now. We're getting shots. We're getting to the line. We're in the game. We're within games. We're falling short because of the skill sets, the skill concepts, the shooting, the dribbling, the passing. So my raising the bar is executing the skills to a higher standard.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll start focusing on more of the tweaks of the offense because there's no point in me tweaking the offenses if we can't shoot, if we can't dribble drive, if we can't pass the goddamn ball. I just think sometimes when people say they raise the bar, they spend more time on creating more X and O's.
No, yeah. So no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not creating X and O's.
And that's why I asked you because I want people to get clarity on what do we mean by that.
Yeah.
So you've broken yours down. I'm going to break mine down.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that we're going to add more. It's just, you know what? There's no point adding more to the system if the things that the system needs to work aren't working.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to fundamentals. That's it.
That's it. Should be for junior basketball.
Well, I didn't run an offense last night. It's concepts of pressure, passing 2 against 4, 1 against 2, to see how you read and react to the spacing and timing. I'm just creating scenarios, but it's not offense. But it's created better on their skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
If we can try to get past a player, that's a positive.
Yep.
That means we can use that on ball and get the attack to the lane and create the breakdowns. That's where I'm going to raise the bar.
Yep.
Is your fundamentals. I'm going to have expectations on them.
Yeah, I get you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair. I think that's a good way to go about it. Considering again, your scenario is a little bit different to where I am right now because we're qualified. So
Correct.
You're still going through the rigors of trying to.
Well, most people in my situation will be creating more offense or more structure.
No, well, that could be a lot of the problem.
Yeah, so I said, girls, I want you to go hard, right? So run from 80. So what I did last night, sprint from baseline to baseline. Sprint them, come back. Why to get you that? They thought punishment? No, you did nothing wrong. Oh, just for fitness? I said no, because one up and down is not going to get you fit. One session week's not going to get you fit.
Yeah.
And they were great, but their answers went wrong.
Yeah.
They always try and give me a thought process. One girl was the last one, goes, I don't know. I said, exactly. That's a good. You didn't know, so fine. Don't try and find an answer. I said, all I want to do is see how hard you can run from baseline to baseline, because now you set the standard. If that's how hard you can run down the floor, that's your standard now. And they didn't see that coming. So that's what I mean by changing the way we think.
Yeah.
So if you can get down from there in that time, that's standard now.
Yeah.
You just said it.
Setting a standard and foundation.
Without them knowing that they were setting the standard.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
I tricked them into it.
I get you.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
I had fun doing it too, by the way. So now, as you sent me something the other day, which you're pretty peeved. You're frustrated.
I was very pissed off about this.
And I've got a lot
couldn't
going
believe
on.
what I was reading.
Well, to be fair, I'm not going to lie to you, because I've got a lot going on here. We're building a sensory room.
Yeah.
I got a lot of things with I'm still working out the health issues, which all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't really read the article, but I think straight away I got the concept. They're taking something away, which straight away would mean, I think that's just sad for sport. What did you send me? Why send me? And why are you so peeved off about it, mate?
So what I read was this is junior football.
Yep.
Junior football is looking to, now I don't know if this has been set in concrete, but the concept of what was being discussed or thrown out there was that you cannot give your teammates a high five or, congratulate
Because of COVID?
because of COVID.
Right. So
Isn't this just
what was their reasoning behind it?
health and safety reasons?
So are they going to watch the ball every time they kick it and mark it?
Well, are they allowed to tackle anymore? They have to stay 1.5 meters apart on the footy field and just do circle. It is just an absolute. Have we just lost our minds in terms of
So this is not a government decision.
No,
This is not
this isn't a government.
not a health and safety aspect. This is just
Is it a health and safety aspect?
well, Barcelona stopped it.
Well, they're all bloody. All our junior kids are at school,
Well,
enjoying each other's company day in day out.
are the school rules in sport different to different rules for all, mate?
Surely we are not going to go to the just
Extreme.
When I say extreme, absolute extreme of depriving our young kids, athletes, after the year that they've had, and we can't underestimate the impact that the last year has had on our athletes. I know adults are struggling. We get caught up in adult world of adult issues, but kids in junior sport, footy in particular, where you got 22, 23 kids on a team, whatever it is, and they can't celebrate with each other, that is a bloody joke. It's a joke.
And the sad is going to be, mate, it's like let's go back to just the normal everyday life. I walk in, we always shake hands, or we embrace or a hug, right? I'm a hugger. That's just who I am. Always have been. It's a shake, hug. That's just who I am. I won't change for anyone. Don't care.
Yeah.
If that means I can't do it in sport, well, I won't coach ever again. I won't be involved. I just don't care. That's who I am. I won't change. Imagine walking into a meeting and you cannot shake the person's hand to actually get an understand that you need that connection. A high five is a teammate connection. And that connection is more not about the high five. It's actually absorbing the emotional feel that you're experiencing that you are probably sharing to someone else. It has so much more of a positive attribute to the between person to person or person to team or teammates. That is so valuable. Like a hug is when a hug is how valuable is a hug in life? How much does a hug mean
everyone,
to you? When you walk in, you always shake someone's hand.
Yeah.
Why? Why do we always shake someone's hand?
It's a social
respect.
It's a respectful
and
thing.
And whether you
social respectful.
And if you have an issue with that person anyway, you still show. You know what? We're still going to create a connection for the greater good.
Well, I'll even go one step further. Have you shaken a referee's hand at the end of the games? They're not shaking hands.
They're knuckling.
Yeah.
Why? What's it between knuckling?
I'm always about shaking the referee's hand at the end of the game, even if I've disagreed through the last 40 minutes around how it was officiated. And regardless, you shake the official's hand.
I broke the rules the other day because I hugged him and they hugged me back.
So, we won't name who the referee was in case they get in trouble. But
and I was wearing my mask.
Is this what we've
I could you coach in a mask the other night?
Sorry?
2 Friday nights ago, I had to coach with a mask on.
Where? Where was this? Can we name it? No, were you naming and shaming?
No, it was across the park. So I won't say where.
No,
in case it's wrong.
Sorry, you coached with it on.
A mask on.
No, you sure it wasn't? You walk in whilst you're a spectator. You got the mask on.
You know when you say my sure, I'm pretty sure I wore the mask the whole game. I'm pretty sure. I'm not. I can't. Hang on, I can't really think. No, I didn't. I'm pretty confident. I, as every other coach in that stadium at the time, had to wear a mask.
Your girls must have loved that.
I was like, this the whole time, mate. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had to wear a mask.
Wow. That would have been very difficult. I haven't had to wear a mask whilst coaching.
Well, I don't know it was a rule.
Worn it in.
So I walked in, and everyone else was wearing a mask. The coach, so I don't know where it came from. I don't know who implemented it, but my presumption is if everyone else is wearing it, it's been stated somewhere that I missed that. It's another email I didn't probably read. I started reading emails, mate.
Read your emails, Rita.
Yeah, so that was look, and I'm watching, to be fair, the NBLs, they were coaching masters sometime.
They were.
But what were they doing most of the time? Where was it sitting?
Yeah, well, they're sitting here, but I think with that, they were in a bubble within a. They were in a bubble, weren't they?
Yeah, but the bubble of those same people, not a bubble of anyone else.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it. I've seen the college coaches coach with it on in the US, but that's probably.
But you're in the same bubble of the same people that you're staying with, which means you're on the same bus with them. It means you're in the same change room with them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to meet and greet the crowd, where you might, I get that.
Mm.
But you're in the sanctum of the bubble.
Mm.
So I'm a bit honest. I just don't understand how it all works.
No, but going back to junior sport now with footy, that is ridiculous. If we're talking about you can only do a knuckle or an elbow bump or whatever.
Hang on, elbow. All signs say, achoo! And then we go, hey, elbow me.
Oh no! Let's share our germs.
So we sneeze into our elbow, and we high five with our elbow. Can you break that one down to me?
I can't. No, I don't know how to explain that, mate.
Why is not ever? I've never seen anyone on social media saying, "Why do we sneeze in our elbows and then still elbow people?" No one. I've never seen that ever questioned anywhere.
That's a good question. I hadn't thought about it like that. Geez, you think outside the box sometimes.
Just put it out there.
Maybe that's just completely logical. Yeah. So I don't know. Look, I'd be disappointed.
What was the reason? In the article,
yeah.
Did they say the reasoning behind it all? Was there a reason behind
health and safety sort of?
So they went down that real in-depth pathway. Right.
Wouldn't it?
So
what's
they're gonna stop the game every 2 seconds to watch the footy. Wipe it down. Oh well, don't mark it. Wipe it down. Now you can mark it.
Well, they'd be doing that at AFL, I reckon, when the ball gets kicked into the crowd. Surely. Did they?
I don't know.
Be interesting to see when that happens next week.
Don't know. Yeah, I reckon, right?
So every time the ball gets kicked into the crowd, it gets thrown back.
I you should keep it because in America they keep the baseball.
They do. Free footy's very.
You know, I watch these YouTube.
I'm sitting behind the goals.
when I have to medicate and I go into my little trance and I'll just lie down in my bed and get on YouTube, I just troll like highlights or that's not. I mean, troll as in
don't troll.
Not troll.
Online bully.
Yeah, no, wrong word.
Advocates of that.
I just browse through YouTube and find just things that just get me interest. I love the fair ones where the baseballs and Art will come in and push a kid out the way to go to baseball and the whole world's watching. You just did the poor kid's crying. Yeah. How many times does that happen?
Oh, so many.
So I know I went down that path. So.
Anyway,
sorry guys.
You just feel sorry for the young kids.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So again, we feel sorry for the kids that can't embrace each other after kicking a goal, or you know.
If we're going to lose that embracing connection anywhere, I don't want to be part of it because I understand. I don't understand COVID. I don't understand the rulings. I don't understand the reasons why we do or what we don't do, and why every state's different. Some states don't understand that we are still virtually in a lot of restrictions. Don't think we're open as per normal, but we've still got restrictions on crowds and numbers inside thingos and where we may wear a mask or not.
Yeah,
other states some don't have that.
Yeah,
it's freelance.
Yeah.
Some of us think we're all back to. We're nowhere near back to normal.
Yeah, I know. Not, in a lot of ways. Sorry, I'm trying to think here.
I just saw your head just go in different directions, up, down, and sideways. What the hell was that?
To me, mate. That's what you do.
Are we back to normal? Are we anywhere back to normal? No one knows really
what is normal.
Okay, why are we still wearing masks at Bunnings and Coles, but not in hospitality, not in restaurants?
I don't know.
If you're wearing your mask,
it's about so many people within within so many meters.
So we're nowhere near. We've still got restrictions. I think they just don't. It feels like there's no restrictions because of what we had to go through.
I think it's where there's essential services. Is that right? So kids going to the grocery shopping, that's like an essential service because you need that to live. So there's food and whatnot.
Bunnings ain't essential, mate.
I don't know.
Bunnings is not essential.
Isn't it?
Harvey Norman.
Bunnings never closed, so that was considered an essential because a lot of tradies still use
Trades. I get,
trades
but it's not open just to the trade. It's not a click and collect. It's walk in and do what you want. You didn't even take your dog in there.
You can't take your dog.
You can take your dog into Bunnings, mate.
If
I'm telling you now.
No,
A guy's
if you're vision impaired, I get that.
No. You don't take a dog on the trolley. If you take a big dog, whatever, it's got a muscle now. Because there was something happened a couple of weeks ago.
Well,
I saw a guy
on someone.
I saw a guy arguing with the security guy. Oh, I'm upset. The guy just needs to have a muzzle, mate. Dog's let in, just needs a muzzle. And then little dogs are on the trolleys, they're shut. I take dogs in the Bunnings, mate. But they don't have to wear a mask. Anyway, so a dog's exempt from COVID-19.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. Explain to me. Well,
Can dogs get COVID?
Don't know.
I don't know. We're probably going too far off a tangent.
Right, so what we're talking about now.
So,
You've got things to do. So we're at 31 minutes.
Yeah, that's all right. We got 10 minutes. That's all right.
All down to seriousness now. What do you think would be an ideal thing to discuss right now?
Footy's
When is footy back next week?
Hey?
When is it next week?
Next week, yeah.
Wow. How do you feel about basketball before COVID to basketball now? Do you feel it feels strange still, or do you think it feels more some sort of normal? Does that make sense?
I feel normal with it.
So I don't.
In terms that it's back and we're in a routine with things.
Yeah,
we're getting our two-week practices. Sorry, I'm talking rep basketball here. So 2-week practice, Friday night game. So that side of it's back. So that's normal, isn't it?
Oh no, I'm not. I don't mean. So maybe I've worded it wrong. Well, I'm trying the feel of it.
Talk to me about the feel of it.
Does it feel the same as pre-COVID to what it is now? You're back to normal in rep side.
Yeah.
Does it feel the same?
What do you say by feel? Because to me,
I just feel there's something missing. There's something's missing.
Can you explain to me what you feel like that something's missing? We're back practicing 2 times a week. We're able to spend time with our players.
I'm about environment culture, yeah?
Yeah, so am I.
Something missing.
We're aligned on that.
I'm like, when I say I'm not lucky because of what we're experiencing, I'm lucky enough that I get to experience a lot of things in basketball outside the rep program, domestic program. So I get to talk to kids, parents, and and schools and that. What I think's missing is there's a lot of kids who are struggling out there, and we can see it and feel that. We see it, but I feel that it's so obvious that we're not picking up on it. That the environment just feels like it's just hollow. It's just not as energetic and exciting as it used to be. We're back to normal. We're going in through the process of walking in, training, walking out. But I'm watching a lot of people walk in, a lot of people walk out. I'm very observant on this stuff.
Yes.
It's like people just aren't themselves. It's like that you just see that the weight, what they're feeling, parents, kids, the whole balance, even the coaches. And I think it's just that normal, positive, vibrant, energetic feel. It's not there. But that's just me. I could be wrong.
Vibrant, energetic feel.
But I want to say, mate, I get excited because I'm going to watch a game. I'm going to get excited that, hey, it's a buzzing feel, right?
Right, yeah.
I don't mean like you go into a concert where it's that buzz. I'm going to see so-and-so perform.
Yeah.
There's a feeling that, it's good to be there. Your kids are playing, your coach, I'm a bit buzzed. I just feel I'm seeing a lot of flatness. A lot of kids are flat when they walk in. And then the parents are probably walking flat.
Is that different to before?
Oh, no. Yeah, I think it's different. The way the kids are greeting each other, the way that's let like normally how are you? Kids are struggling. So they're highs and I don't think people, I shouldn't say this.
Maybe I'm not seeing it because you're around it to a level that I'm not. I agree.
Yeah, but when I go into a stadium, unfortunately, that's all I do. While I'm waiting, I just like to watch how a kid walks into their teammate, how a team forms together for the game, how the coach meets or greets their kids or vice versa, how the parents say hello to their kids. I see all that, right?
Yeah.
But when I see a lot of people because I think we know a lot of people in the basketball world,
yeah.
I've just seen a lot of changes, and it's not like I just feel that they're flat. A lot of people are flat. I think they look lost, and I think there's a lot more struggles that we're not that even though we put out the mental health and by the way, Spud Frawley thing, the time to talk concept, great concept.
Yes.
Is we put these platforms in place and reach out to whoever. If you need this, you need that. I don't think people are seeing that's in front of us every day. It's a neon sign saying, I'm struggling. We're struggling. This whole area is struggling, and we're not picking up on it enough, is all I'm saying. If I was a club director, I'd be going, something's not right here. We just need to find a way where, how do we engage ourselves, not rely on the outside sources.
Right.
I know where I'm going with this. I do know where I'm going, but I want to be very careful. I don't think I know it all. I don't want to sound like I can solve the answers. I would like people to take a little bit more notice of things around for next week or two.
Yeah.
And tell if they see kids or parents are different to what they were. I don't mean in the wrong way. I don't mean in a arrogant way. There's a lot of people that look lost and flat. And this is what I mean about, I said the pain's coming. Mate, there's pain coming. And I think there's a lot of these kids that aren't coping well. And it's getting worse. The parents aren't coping. It's getting worse. And the phone calls I've had and the kids I've spoken to in the last 2 weeks is absolutely emotionally shattering. I can't say too much because of what those discussions are. I don't mean just struggle. They're struggling.
Yeah.
Okay. Concerned struggling. Concern. And then the parents are concerned struggling because they also don't know how to deal with it because they've got their own issues. They send their kids in a platform that should be their outlet and positive outlet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids. There's a lot of people struggling right now.
Okay.
That makes sense, or do I go too long-winded?
No, you're making sense around people who are struggling. I'm just trying to break it down. Is it struggling with being back in a competitive environment?
I think it's.
Is it struggling more or less coming back in competing and competing against others, or is it a comparison against others, or is it more or less coming back
generic? It's not basketball specific.
Okay,
so it's not. I don't think basketball. It's not basketball specific. People just don't know how to readapt with what they're going through, so they're not the same. When on the floor, on the bench, whatever, the way they walk in, walk out, they're just not the same people.
Well, it'd be unrealistic for people to be the same compared to 12 months ago.
I'm glad you said that.
It's we've discussed this a little bit before about how we can't be unrealistic.
Correct. So
to expect that people be the same.
So what you just said then again.
So it's unrealistic to expect that people will be the same, handle competing and going back into sport.
Correct.
In the same mindset that they were 12 months ago, because there's been added outside influences of the last 12 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it be family life, education life, friend life, your own emotional growth, or maybe not growth. I don't know. The past 12 months has hindered all of that.
We're going in the direction,
maybe some level.
You're going in the direction that I think I want to go.
All right.
I was going to be very careful that I've got all these things in my head.
Yeah.
And I've got all these points of emphasis.
Right.
You could probably go in the direction I want to take it. The word expectation is the one that I want to take off the table.
Yeah, okay.
Because expectations means that's what we expected. Yeah, no. But the problem is we know that this is the new norm for now.
Right.
Or is it the new norm going forward? What are we actually doing in place to ensure that we don't make this get worse?
Right. Yeah.
I'm being honest with you. I think we're just getting through the games week in, week out. We're already about to start the season. We've already done nearly 2 grading phases.
Yeah.
What true changes have been made? Put the basketball aside, the game itself, put aside. What changes have been done to ensure that we get these kids to understand what it's like to have that want back, that engagement back, the socializing, the commitment, the want, the go get, blah, 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 from the family support, from the kids support. What's being put in place? And don't tell me broadly. Don't tell me beyond blue and all that stuff, because that really annoys me that we've got all these outlets. We put links to it. Like,
it's a tough thing to do.
Sorry to cut off.
Yeah.
This is because I don't mind having a bet. If we put things in place to counteract gambling addiction, we put all these in place.
No, we don't.
Just shut the casino down. No,
get the gambling ads off the bloody footy. Get it off the bloody basketball ad. Get it off.
We feel satisfied that we put a link to, here's your reach out platform. I think we're doing the same because Meta is so big right now. What do? We're seeing links.
That's token help.
So what
seem to be doing the right thing without doing the right thing.
So within your own environment, So in the club environment, your environment, I'm not blaming the club either because no one knows. But what are we doing, or what are they doing to say, well, you know what? How do we change that flatness? How do we get them back in to start to
put it this
climb
way,
up?
If you can't socially connect with people, you got no hope.
What do you mean? Sorry?
If you can't socially connect with people, so whether you're the leader of a club or a coach, a leader of teams, and you can't connect and you can't form that relationship first before the X's and O's, you ain't.
High five. Let's break the rules.
That's done.
Aaron,
you may as well step away.
We haven't discussed any of this, guys. This is on the fly now, and I think Adam's got to go, but we're going to have to touch up on this. We're going to have to
pick this up from next week.
Right, before we go, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we're right.
What you're leading to me right now is exactly where I want us to go. So you telling me now, the people who are leading the clubs need to be now more caring and understanding and being adaptive to the needs of what we need to get the best program we can, and not just work on the X and O's, how good I look, my arrogant, dominant, directive nature. I need to know that every member is not a number, is a member, not just a number. And I need to ensure that every member, we can do whatever we can by getting to know them, understand them, and do what we can for them.
When you say member, define member.
Whoever is part of your program is your member.
Coach.
Yep.
Players.
Member.
Coach. How can you expect your coaches?
So
if it always comes from the top down. That's what we say.
All right,
so if you cannot help your coaches help their players, or
help each other.
So
sideways up, whatever.
It doesn't matter. If you can't bring those skills or teach that or help develop people in that way, you're right.
If I was director of coaching, I would have had a coaching workshop. I would have an age group workshop. I would have had a club concept in links, and then I would see kids. You know what? We're glad we're back on basketball, but our focus right now is how you all are. How do we get the best out of you under the environment we've gone for? But we'll go more about this. Let's watch this again.
I'm going to park this,
and we're going to tap into and continue on.
Yep.
Because you're going down exactly where I want to go.
Yep.
Because I don't think there's enough caring and understanding of what's needed to maintain the engagement levels of what we need for these kids to enjoy what they're doing, and coaches and parents.
Yep.
Don't know what I'm saying, but does that make sense?
Yep, makes sense a little bit.
Love you guys. Got to go.
Maybe more questions than answers today, but I think, we're going to.
Then next time we got a flow of conversation. If anyone wants to give us some things to discuss, if you watched it, Frost question, Frost, what do you mean? Or hey guys, look where you're going.
I mean, we won't say your name. Just throw us the question. Reach out to us, because I think
personally it's fine. You can inbox us personally.
Sorry,
they can reach out to us personally.
Yeah. Reach out to us personally. And we'll talk about what you're finding some issues might be, or what you're noticing.
And remember one thing, guys, it's not as if our thoughts are clear cut. We're just thinking on the fly, like we all do. And sometimes it may not make a little bit of sense now, but where we're heading, it's getting clarity now. So without me realizing, I was trying to strike up an area, different directions, but now as I think are going in a direction I would like to take it.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think we're going to get clarity on now the outcome, where 20 minutes ago we probably didn't have an idea where it was going.
No.
But that's how I've always worked.
Yeah.
And that's how I roll.
Yep.
You happy with that?
Happy with that.
Guys, all the players, good luck tonight. Stay safe, stay well. What's it? Reach out if you're down and out. Love you guys, and stay safe.
Have fun.
Adios.